Hello and welcome to another Beer with Raggy. And I started talking about this in my last review. I'm not sure which review that is, you'll see in the future. But with the cost of living crisis, with what's going off in the world, less money, paying out bills, this Beer with Raggy, is there a moment when you cut your consumption down of beer or stop drinking beer altogether, whether you like it or not, and just walk away from that world of beer? Now, as someone who, as a hobby, does beer reviews, that's tasted nice, actually. Really tasted nice. Golden ale, dog ales. But anyway, as somebody who, as a hobby, does beer reviews, rightly or wrongly, whether I'm good or shite, that's up to the people out there in the world. I do it for my own reasons. As I've said multiple times across the channel over the years, I'm not the best, but I'm in the top one, as Brian Clough would say. That's a joke. Fucking please don't quote me and go off all pissy on me. But the realisticness of the situation, the reality of the situation is that the world is not an easy place to live in. And the price of beer is going up, quite rightly, because the cost of making the beer is going up. The breweries won't put their beer up unless they absolutely need to. They're not profiteering like certain fucking pubs out there. The Stonegate Group. I didn't even know who the Stonegate Group were. And then they've gone about this Slug and Lettuce and what's the other one? Fucking Shake Your Lettuce. Show us your lettuce? No? Oh, on Yates's. Yeah. But for a long while now, and you will have noticed the beer wall behind me. And some of it's partly because I don't want hundreds of beers on the beer wall. And the other part, really, is the fact that I've hit that wall where paying for stuff for the house and other things has become so much that the beer hobby is becoming very, very constrained and pushed down the list. And consumption of beer, I still probably drink more than most people out there. I'll be honest. I literally drink literally 7 days a week. That is an honest thing. But for me this winter, we've had a fucking tough year. And going into the winter months, I literally can see a moment, usually coming up to winter months, I'm starting to ramp up. I mean, a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago now, I was spending 50 quid a week on cans. So I'd go and do my Saturday jobs, buff, on cans and bottles, supporting the beer world, doing my best to support the beer world as well. And, I've... But then we started going to pubs. So we've gone to pubs more and we've got a bit more social life these days. But and obviously with a social life, something gives. it's got to. There's no, if you go out on a Saturday afternoon and you spend 40, 50 quid, then that's what you would have spent on beers in any given week. And that's even if I can during the winter months. And like a lot of people out there, mortgages, bloody gas, electric, water, something has to go. And so is there a moment when you stop drinking beer? And unless I get a bit lucky, yeah, I think there will be. I've, certainly in the last year, I've lowered my consumption. It's probably a good thing in the grand scheme of things. I can drink when I want to drink. I can really drink. Yeah, I've got the fucking bump on the face to prove it. I need to get the videos off that phone. But yeah, all of a sudden a hobby can, and hobby can disappear, or change, or I change the channel. Still talk about beer, but not actually drink the stuff, which would kill me. But or take a hiatus, and until I, it's a funny thing, we're in a much tougher world, not just because of the bloody idiots in Russia and their stupid war, and then the idiots in charge of the country and their stupid bloody finance, or the fact that do I need to leave gardening and go to a better paid job to bring better money in? These are all questions. And as the price of beer goes up in supermarkets, gone are the 4 for £5 days. Now at St. Tesco's, which is probably the cheapest of the supermarkets now for beer, 4 for £7. Asda's do 4 for free. Not Sainsbury's, I think it's all single pricing. Morrison's do 4 for free. Marks and Spencer's, yeah. Yeah, £3 a can. Waitrose, yeah, similar sort of thing. So it's going to be interesting, as the second bad winter. I mean, it was only this time last year where people started to feel, a bit of pain with the cost of living crisis. Going into this year, you've probably struggled to save up to put money in kitty, and when there's no money in the kitty to do things, it's going to be interesting. And it's not just the world of beer drinking; it's everything. I'm even thinking, I even said to the wife a minute ago, says, unless I'm lucky, I'm going to struggle to get your Christmas presents this year. And despite the fact that, whatever work I do and whatever. And and this, and this is the same for so many people across. Well, let me just wet the whistle. My daughter's wedding beer. Well, my beer, but I've got to say, it's pouring damn nice as well. Look at that, lovely golden ale, nice finger of Whitehead. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, I'd like to think what other people are doing. Not everyone's rich, you know. I don't know about any of the other beer reviewers, their financial situations. It's not really any of my business either. But I know for anybody who's doing beer reviews who's not really well off, it's, you know, do you finish your hobby? And could I walk away from beer reviews altogether if I had to? Not for the sake of wanting to, because I do like the beer reviews and that. But the fact is, like most people, you know, there has to be something that gives in the end. And that's why there's more beer with raggies these days. Because, well, one, because I'm trying to get rid of some beer behind me, and I don't want it to go off. It's going to be an interesting time moving forward. And I can't be the only person who does beer reviews and the only beer drinker out there. More importantly, the only beer drinker who's looking at their finances and is thinking, you know, maybe once a month have a beer. Maybe packing all together. And yeah, certain people will probably think, well, that's one out of the way. Yeah, certain people in Nottingham would probably think that. Yeah, organisations, should we say, that don't like me anyway. But it's interesting, isn't it? You know, there is a time for all of us when, you know, tough decisions have to be made. With us, we'd probably like to get rid of one car. But both of us need a car to get to work and do our things that we need to do. And it literally, we can't cope with one car. So that's a lot of money spent there. And a lot of hassle if we didn't have one car, because then you go on public transport, which is just as bloody expensive as owning the car. And a lot more, less inconvenience as well. Tough choices ahead, I think. You know, when you can see what's coming, and it's coming quickly. But it's been a good run, you know, in the grand scheme of things. 5 years, talking shite about beer. That's not to say I'm going to pack up anytime soon. But, you know, you look at what's coming up in the winter and all that, and like I say, there's a lot of us, there's a hell of a lot of us in that same situation. And vices, this is a vice, isn't it? You know, it's a nice vice, but it is a vice. Is it time that you just knock it on the head and say, I can't, you know, I can't put money into that, drink money away when there's other things to spend money on. Wow, yeah. Rich people don't know these things, do they? You know, but those who are not rich do know these things, and yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so many flipping outgoings, and it's like the Saturdays. It's like, you know, there's going to be a moment in time where both beer buying and going out on a Saturday for a few beers stops, and that's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting when it happens. Going to be a very illuminating winter. Let's put it that way. But anyway, so that's my beer with Raggy. Quite a sober one, well, not so that sober. I drank a nice pint, but quite a sober thought really about the bites from this cost of living crisis. You know, let's put the interest rates up. Yeah, fuck all the poor people. Yeah, greedy fucking supermarkets. You know, they're the fuckers. Greedy oil companies, petrol, gas, all these arseholes are forcing all of us to make cuts to what is, you know, a little bit of niceness. Shit in it.